basket.
Whoa. Watch your mouth there, boo-boo.
What?
Shut the fuck up, goo goo. I said boo boo, not goo goo.
Oh, that's how we're starting it off.
Oh, you already know. This is gonna be a doozy of an episode. We're talking about the mass genocide of a national holiday that we celebrate every year and think it's turkeys that they were serving. Pah! Stay tuned.
They served human meat.
Talking Junk Network,
where entertainment lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to
BreakRoom,
your favorite rapper's favorite podcast.
See, this is why I like your show. You guys charismatic, you know the right things to say.
Turn around so I can see. That's why I walked over here. Stop talking.
All right. Stop talking and listen to the Heaven's Pantry Excalibur commercial because we are sponsored tonight by Heaven's Pantry's Excalibur. With only 6 simple ingredients, dates, cashews, almonds, cocoa powder, coconut oil, and sea salt, it makes for the best 100% vegan brownie that doubles as a chocolate energy bar. Go to Amazon.com today and use the promo code HP Street to get 20% off your first order, and then use our promo code TalkJunk69 to get 10% off every order after that. You cannot beat it. And we are also sponsored today by the Dizzle brand liqueur, the original premium liqueur coming straight out of California. This thing is 80 proof, 40% 40% alcohol by volume, and is by far the best tasting liqueur on the market. It is only classified as a liqueur because it is tequila and cognac mixed with mango and hints of citrus. Go to thedizzlebrand.com right now and pick you up a bottle. If you're not dizzling, what the fuck are you doing? Welcome to the Break Room, the podcast that comes to you live every Saturday night. I'm your host, Jason Melendez, with the whole crew here, minus maybe one. We got Jasmine returning, Dre on the ones and twos, Jack Blacker, Mr. Mach, and Darby in the wings. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Oh, real good. Good to see everybody.
Having a good time on the wings, apparently.
There's something on the wing.
It's the ones and twos. Hey, where you at?
Dre, you're muted, bro. I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
I think Dre's actually out there on the wings.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Fed, like every year.
Oh, you got some head?
You got some head?
No. That's not no.
I was fed.
Oh,
you was fed.
Oh,
That's good. That's good too.
That's good too.
I get head every year. At some point, I was a child not getting head. Like, come on now.
What?
What is?
I don't know what's happening right now.
He said head when I said getting fed.
Some fun under Thanksgiving table, Jay. That's what's happening.
Came out from under the wing with that one. No?
Gotta be thankful for.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gotta be thankful for that guac action.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of our junkers out there, since we're like a day or two late. But happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
As we all know, Thanksgiving is a time for celebration, good food, and giving thanks. So as we gather with family, crush unworldly amounts of stuffing, and enjoy a football game in the crisp autumn air, let's also acknowledge the real history of the holiday and practice gratitude by giving back, says the Truth Giving article on DoSomething.org. This year, we're celebrating Thanksgiving and also Truth's Giving, they say, a concept coined by indigenous activist Christine No Bias. To dismantle common misunderstandings about Thanksgiving with, well, the truth. So in the name of Truth's Giving, here's the true history of this holiday and what you can do about it. They would like to thank Illuminative for their collaboration on this piece and for providing resources and campaigns that increase the visibility of Native nations and peoples in American society. So it says, what's the real story of Thanksgiving?
Hang on. They wanted to decolonialize Thanksgiving? Is that what they want? Is that what they said earlier? Or am I just misinterpreting that?
Maybe you're misinterpreting that. I didn't hear.
Because oh, okay, my bad. Because I was looking up stuff earlier and I was seeing shit and people how
happy late Thanksgiving, Alize.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That makes everything better, doesn't it?
Does.
I mean, you should sit back,
Relax,
listen to this podcast, and get you some head at the same time.
Just try not to get no head. You're not going to pay attention.
Hey, you will pay attention. While those things while things are being stroked, so is your mind with these words.
You mean this podcast?
These words. They
podcast.
can't physically watch it if they getting, blown.
Let's hope.
Why not, Jay? Why not?
He just
What is the season to get that neck?
You're quiet, brother.
The first Thanksgiving, as a lot of folks understand it, was in 1621 between the Pilgrims of Plymouth Colony and the Wampanoag tribe in present-day Massachusetts. While records indicate that this celebration did happen, there are a few misconceptions Native American narratives from the histories a lot of us were taught. We've been left with an incomplete picture of what really happened. So here's the full story. There's no evidence that the Wampanoag people were even invited. In the first place. An account from the time said 90 members of the Wampanoag tribe were present and makes no mention of invitations. Some experts believe that the 90 men were an army sent by the Wampanoag leader Asamaquin at the sound of gunshots, which turned out to be part of the celebration. In their first encounter with the Wampanoag people, the Pilgrims stole from the tribe's winter provisions. It wasn't until later that the Asamaquin formed an alliance between the groups. Even then, the alliance really only existed because the Wampanoag people were ravaged by disease brought by European colonizers in the years prior. It was less about intercultural harmony and more about survival, made necessary by the actions of these settlers.
One thing you said earlier is that how they came because they heard the firearms. There is a historical account that says they 4 in one day killed as much fowl as with little help besides served the company almost a week, at which time, amongst other recreations, we exercised our arms, many of the Indians coming amongst us, and amongst rest their greatest king, Massasoit, with their 90 men, whom for 3 days we entertained and feasted. That was Edward Winslow who was quoted by that.
Edward Winslow was a lying bitch.
I mean, maybe, but that's the generally accepted historical consensus.
Okay, Machico, you got a pina colada in that cup right there?
What's that, some coquito you got there? Huh?
Yeah, I look like coquito in a glass.
It do, right?
Yeah.
Give me that face. I want that face.
Yo.
There we go. It's me, Mario.
Oh, shit, Jasmine. He called you player too.
Well, they just grabbed her face.
Yeah. You couldn't see that because of the blue screen. The first harvest was followed by deadly conflicts between colonizers and native people. including, but definitely not limited to, the Wampanoags. The Europeans repaid their native allies by seizing native land and imprisoning, enslaving, and executing native people. Following Thanksgiving celebrations by European settlers often marked betrayal victories over native people, like the Pequot Massacre of 1936 or the beheading of Wampanoag leader Matacom in 1676. Today, the Wampanoag make up two federally recognized tribes, the Mashpee and the Wampanoag, the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe and the Wampanoag tribe of Gayhead.
Oh yeah, Jay. 2 years later, after that like first Thanksgiving meal, there was
What?
That's what it sounds like.
What's up?
She
My
says,
microphone.
No. Jasmine's saying the names of some of these tribes sound like the song from the Muppets.
That's only a bit of mild racism. But like, shit. Yeah, 2 years prior, there was like 200 like Native Americans who went to another festival or like celebration, and 200 of them dropped dead from an unknown poison at the time. And there was like
you said at the time, is it known what poison it is now?
No, they just still don't know what a poison.
It's still unknown.
Yeah, still unknown. I'm just reading from the article. It says at the time still was unknown. I guess I don't know.
Real question is, why haven't we heard this before?
Because a lot of people don't really sit there and do research into Thanksgiving. They just fucking.
It was a rhetorical question, sir.
Oh. Fair enough.
Or they're just not alive anymore.
Many students still complete an American education unsure about the place of Native people in the nation's past or in its present. Unfortunately, a lot of U.S. schools just don't accurately teach Native American history or anybody else's history that doesn't pertain to white culture. Oh, that was me saying that, not the article. But the fact is, Native American history is American history. November is National Native American History Month, which makes it the perfect time to learn about the role Native people played in shaping our country.
Sharpening. God damn, bro.
The diesel's hitting quick.
Yeah, dude. Meta comment, that chief you mentioned, fucking, he got executed and quartered and his pieces tied up into trees, and then his hand was given to another Indian that he was caught by the American Rangers. That he was with the Rangers at the time, and his head was sold for 30 shillings. And he also charged people to see Meta comment's hand preserved in a jar.
30 shillings? That's the fuck you gonna get with that?
Hey,
I don't know old timey currency.
That's 30 shillings per person. That shit adds up, bro.
A lot of head.
That's a lot of head.
Here's the other thing.
Overhead?
Keep in mind, Native people are a part of the past, and they're also very much a part of our country's present and future. About 87% of state-level history standards don't mention Native American. Leave me with the Mario face, damn it.
It's just going back and forth, man.
She's just doing like this,
bro. No, that's not what she's doing. Let me show you real quick what we're back here doing, so you guys will know what happens when I say something strange.
Full freak ass show.
Hey. Yo, Jason, if they said, yeah, if your hand is bigger than your face, you're retarded.
Retarded.
He's having a seizure. Oh shit!
I know, right? He's over here trying to read with both eyes not even wide closed.
First of all, the eyes.
He's trying to read with his hand in front of his face.
Don't be outing me like that, all right? About 87% of state-level history standards don't mention Native American history after 1900, but Native American people have had a huge impact on contemporary U.S. society. Take, for example, Joy Harjo, the first Native American poet laureate. The young indigenous activists who are fighting for their communities, and the record number of lawmakers bringing Native representation to government. Why does it matter? Rhetorical question, Darby.
No shit.
To me, Thanksgiving is a reminder of this is what Alan Salway, a writer and community organizer from the Navajo Nation, said. He said, "To me, Thanksgiving is a reminder of our renaissance as indigenous people, navigating this settler society that continuously tries to erase and destroy us. Yet, we're still here."
Barely.
Right.
Well, it depends where you go. Like, there's tons of native reservations up in the Northwest and North.
Right, but they're not seen as much as they should be for this being their land.
Did you just like say that out loud? Like, you understood what you just said, right?
Well, yeah, no, I totally get you. Like, if that's the point you're trying to make, then yeah.
No, I mean, they're here barely, and they're on reservations.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I live in Washington. I've seen a bunch of fucking.
Right.
These people have been destroyed.
No, there's also
they live like shit too, dude. It's horrible how they're treated on there. Like straight up, like some areas don't have running water. What's up, Dre?
I said I'm not gonna get into all that now. They got their reparations and they got land.
Reparations, yeah, I guess so.
Don't they own a bunch of casinos? Too?
That's not.
That's some
of them. I mean, that the whole casino thing. I'm pretty sure
that's from my region. That's from
the people who really run the casinos are not Native Americans in this country, even though there are some Native Americans who got some casino money, but for the most part,
nah.
Yep.
Seneca, nah. Seneca is straight up Native owned.
Bro, that's one. Do you know how many casinos there are in America?
Well, that's fair.
Yeah,
Seneca is just a huge one though.
Do you know how many casinos there are in Vegas?
That's fair.
You know who's running Vegas, right? Not Native Americans.
I mean, that's true.
Surely is not.
But they do have some land where you can't see because, like, I live out here in Arizona. There are some reservations that's obviously like you can get to. There's others you wouldn't know unless you got directions to this specific road in this specific area. You drive down yonder and wherever the fuck that would be, and then they have they have community of communities there. So it's like
by now the casino game in Vegas is owned by I won't point any filters out, but I think we all know.
No.
He said down yonder.
Down yonder.
I heard that. I was like,
you don't know what far is until you look down the road and be like, where the fuck does that go?
That shit is yonder.
That shit is yonder, bro.
First time I heard that shit was like 6 months ago.
For real?
Down yonder.
I was working with some lady. She was like, "We gotta go down yonder." I was like,
"Is that a street? Are we driving down yonder street?"
Jay Possum Trot Road.
Oh my god, that's a story for off the air.
And you make a left on Roadkill Way.
Oh, brother, you have no idea.
I can't. Dude,
like awesome, I said, that's a story for off the fuck. We'll talk about that off the podcast.
Yeah. That's BreakRoom after.
Now, we can't use inaccurate histories to inform our understanding of Native communities. The erosion of Native narratives and voices contributes to the invisibility of Native people and issues. By recognizing the true history of these events, we can affirm the experiences of Native communities and do a better job of tackling the systemic issues that they have faced and continue to face as a result. After all, how can you properly address a problem if you don't understand the root causes?
Right.
You gonna believe that?
Right.
I mean, I believe that, but like
they know the causes. You don't think so?
Everybody knows the causes. Why is there ghettos? Why is there poor neighborhoods and shitty neighborhoods in general? It's because our country blows fucking millions of dollars and billions of dollars into shit that doesn't matter, devalues our currency, and then it has a market competitive system that focuses on finances and profit over actual human living beings. Of course,
what you mean putting billions of dollars in countries like the Ukraine and Iran don't do us no good?
The Ukraine, maybe. Iran, no, not really.
No, you don't think so? You don't think letting our people be homeless and still giving these people billions of dollars in other countries?
Nah, you can easily with America's budget. With America's budget, you can easily have both.
How about our veterans? Don't they deserve better?
Veterans, all of them do. You can have veterans and homeless people and the poverty issue solved with the amount of money that we fucking blow on bailing out banks alone and corporations alone that we do every 4 fucking years.
That's because they have their own system that they got to keep. They have to funnel certain money into. So they're like,
Exactly.
hey,
Fuck that.
more of our money. Let's get some of the.
Yeah, that exploitative system has existed for centuries. Fuck
Yeah. They'll redirect the funds, and that's why I believe a lot of the politicians or everybody in the political system fight for power. Everybody wants to
speak badly about the boogie down over here, right, Alize? Right? I gave the boogie down 21 years of my life, okay? 21 years of my life to the boogie down.
I gave 25.
It's ghetto, but it's sophisticated.
Because you're older than me, bitch.
Duh. So what's the point? I mean, you make it sound like living in the Bronx was like a gang. I gave 21 years of my life, man.
It is. It's like a sentence.
It's very much like being in a gang and in the pen at the same time.
Jay was a stoop kid.
I was a stoop kid for a little while, and then we ventured out. Then we were neighborhood kids.
I was a balcony kid. I was always on the fucking balcony.
And then we got brolic on that balcony.
You remember that shit?
Oh, I remember it, brother.
That don't sound right.
We got brolic on that balcony, brother.
I was a trooper. I like to explore. I just went everywhere. As soon as
that was back when motherfuckers thought Macho took steroids.
That's what you have to. What? What you said?
That was back when niggas thought Macho had took steroids.
Yeah, because in 3 months I gained like 20 pounds of muscle. No, that's fucking dedication. Fuck it is.
Macho took no days off from working out when you're supposed to let your body rest for at least one. Macho was like, fuck that rest. I'm going to work out.
20 years old, bro.
Something hurts, but whatever.
Every time Macho got bored, he worked out.
Bro. Be chilling and working out for no reason. Like, what are you doing?
That's what I do.
Working out.
Yeah, you're a fan. Pass me that 30-pound plate. Appreciate
I
it.
guess you get used to it, but how the fuck do you go to work the next day just sore like that?
Nah, after a while,
we didn't work, motherfucker.
Feeling no more.
Fair.
Oh yeah, at that time we was in and out.
We didn't work.
We do a job.
That was mom's crib.
We stood up to like 2, 3 in the morning working out. We woke up again at like 11, 12,
for the Bronx
and got
Boys
right back at it.
of elections. Remember that?
Yeah. Walking around.
We used to knock on the door. We used to scream. He used to fuck up all the time. He used to say, Bronx Board of Erections.
Didn't give a fuck. I'm just saying. Every time I got a gig where I could put my peoples on, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Which led us to being on here now.
It's true.
Coming full circle. Would you look at that?
What can I do? Asks the DoSomething.org article that we've been reading. Christine No Bias says, it's past time to honor the indigenous resistance. Tell our story as it is, as it really happened. And undo, let me zoom in a little bit. Undo the romanticized notions of the holiday that have long suppressed our perspective. Some folks skip Thanksgiving altogether and opt for native-led events like the National Day of Mourning, held in Plymouth since 1970, or the Indigenous Peoples Sunrise Ceremony, held in California since 1969. As you celebrate Thanksgiving by feasting with family, watching the parade, and going back for seconds or thirds, excuse me, shit. There are also some simple, impactful things you can do to help combat native erosion this holiday. Celebrate indigenous cuisine. Add one of these recipes from indigenous chefs to your Thanksgiving spread with a focus on sustainable ingredients.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, again, this is not the stylings of the BreakRoom telling you to do these things. This is the DoSomething.org starting out with.
Yeah, sorry we killed your people. Here's the fresh native meal. Like what?
Yeah, shit is crazy nowadays because
straight pollution, bro. Once you get off the plane, you see just fucking hot dog wrappers and shit. This shit is crazy, bro. I was there last month, bro, and I swear to my mother, the first thing I saw was a bum sleeping right outside of April. Once you go, he's sleeping right there. Everybody walking around him. He got a fucking empty bottle of fucking whatever.
This is where the money.
Yeah.
I looked at him, and I looked at my wife, and then I stepped over him.
it gotta be shit if it ain't an empty bottle of Dizzle.
Yes, drink Dizzle, sleep on your local park bench.
No,
Bring an
don't sleep on your
Excalibur.
local park bench. Well, if I see you on a local park bench, I might give you an Excalibur.
He's gonna be so drunk, he's gonna think he's sleeping on the park bench, but he's fucking sleeping on your hood.
Motherfucker's really gonna be sleeping on the back of the toilet.
That explains some things at work.
Well, it smells like shit. We're gonna move on to another article that kind of explains everything in another way, but gives you a little bit of a rundown on it. Oh shit, I didn't pull up the other one.
Opposite the one I sent you.
We're talking about the one you sent me.
What?
That's the one I'm talking about, I think.
About Willis?
Where did you send it to me?
Don't play.
Always technical difficulties on the break room. But
yeah,
we're doing a little good on time here.
It happens.
It's only been 25 minutes. Feels like we've been here for about an hour.
We have.
Maybe that's the weed. Dizzle. Losing the perception of time.
He's dizzling. He's dizzling through time.
I sent this
That
to
should
you
be the slogan.
on your message.
On my messenger?
No, not messenger. My text message.
My text messages. Okay. How the fuck am I supposed to transfer that to the laptop?
See how hard he's dizzling right now?
You should do a full-blown commercial for this.
Should, right?
Like we do like the Smash Brothers one from back in the day. We just like
hard, bro. Oh
we
my
do that shit.
God. That's bad.
Yes, it's a lot of bums and crackheads out here. It's so sad, bro.
Tremont.
Out here too.
That's all I gotta say. Tremont, bro.
Bro,
Yeah, I was gonna say out here too.
That's
Right.
crazy,
It's not any better anywhere else. It's just
not.
It's not as compact.
You know,
There's
you walk
different
on-
kinds of bums though.
Don't let
No.
motherfuckers tell you Daytona Beach is.
It don't matter about
It
the
is not a
kinds
nice
of bums.
area.
It's just
a whole
bums.
bum
It's
city.
just
Well,
don't
no,
matter.
there's different kinds because
DMX
up in
and
Buffalo there was the Amtrak met with a couple of other railroads from Canada and to other places, and there used to be bums who traveled along the railroad and just
Not
sought
that
work
there's
wherever they
anything
could.
wrong with being homeless. Some people choose it as a fucking.
I was
lifestyle.
homeless for 3
I
months in New
understand
York.
you,
That
but
shit is not cool,
Come on.
bro.
Have a little bit of decency. You know what I mean? There's places for that.
Yeah.
Some of those places are pretty terrible for them to live in, though.
Yeah.
Don't
Be
fucking
walking
be
around with a knife and shit.
with my kids either.
Tremont.
With your kids.
Fuck out of here.
But you gotta tell them. Care if you with your kids.
I don't
Dude came
fucking
up to
have
me. He
shit
was
when I'm
like,
with my kids. You don't see they eat everything.
If they want your kids nuggets, like, can I get one?
No, they
Can I
don't.
get a
No, they
nugget?
don't. You ain't learned from Scary Movie.
Fucking
She
phone.
gave the bum a sandwich. She threw that shit back at her. I said $1,
do it.
bitch.
They do it, bro. That happened with me and Jay. We went to the store like one in the morning, and some lady was saying, "I want."
Spins it more of us being socially programmed.
Cut me off.
So we'll go through them, and then we'll get a whole rundown from the good people at the History Channel. Which
Yes, creators of Ancient Aliens.
Perspectives. So Gaia's article is The Truth of Thanksgiving. We've been socially programmed. Part of growing up in the United States is discovering that some of the fairy tales you were told about the holidays as a child aren't real. Like the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. Maybe the Tooth Fairies. People forgot about that.
Didn't know that.
That disappointment of feeling or feeling of betrayal is a fleeting and innocent wake up call among many more to come in life. But the biggest holiday fairy tale is one that has been used not just to entertain the youthful imagination, but instead for social programming and the whitewashing of our history. And that is the truth of Thanksgiving. We've all been socially programmed to a false reality. Slowly but surely, we're becoming more aware of the extent to which we've been socially programmed throughout our lives. This programming comes from many channels and is meant to give us our identities, distinguish ourselves from others, and who we should aspire to be. Though many of us are starting to realize a lot of these social constructs are used to divide and indoctrinate us into consumers, political constituents, and anything that serves to benefit the powers to be. The Thanksgiving holiday could not be a more fitting example of the historical and continued use of subversive social programming that has been intrins- uh, excuse me, intrinsically injected into our culture. Thanksgiving is supposedly a time of reflection, gratitude, and giving to those in need, a time when we remember the struggles and sacrifices made by the founders of our country and how they were able to break bread with Native Americans some 400 years ago. So, we celebrate the blessings we've been given in life by sitting down to enjoy a meal, spending time with loved ones, and dozing off while watching football. And the next morning, many will rise before the sun to get in line for those Black Friday deals, hoping not to get injured in the apotheosis of consumer greed. But the truth is, the majority of our society has been indoctrinated to fit the mold and is unaware of the historical truth of Thanksgiving and what it is involved.
I mean, I was gonna say that's
what it
almost
has
any holiday.
involved with. What the fuck was that?
What's up?
Is my headphones not working?
I can hear you.
Oh, but I couldn't hear y'all. So once one of y'all talking, I heard it from fucking
all
Jasmine.
I said was that just sounds like any other holiday, really. Every holiday's been commercialized and geared towards consumerism.
Yes.
Especially Christmas.
And they try to get you young, obviously.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Shit, where the fuck was I? But the truth is, the majority of our society has been indoctrinated to fit the mold and is unaware of the historical truth of Thanksgiving and what it has evolved into. Our perspectives have been socially programmed over the course of the past 4 centuries to fit the narrative of the appropriate political zeitgeist. And while it has slowly evolved to satisfy the religious, social, and economic goals of the ruling elite, it continues to completely ignore the injustices against Native Americans. Isn't it time to break free from our programming and redefine the holiday for its true meaning? Jay, real quick, is this article from Gaia not what you thought it would be?
I mean, it's not surprising that Gaia would probably give somebody with like a leftist viewpoint a platform, but at the same time, a lot of Gaia shit is like straight up like History Channel after hours bullshit. So it is a surprising article.
We'll get to the History Channel after dark shit in a second. Whitewashing a violent holiday. By now, there is a greater awareness of the extent to which the U.S. was built through the subjugation of Native Americans. Columbus Day is slowly being erased from our calendars as a holiday that should no longer recognize a man whose legacy was distorted, making an imperialist murderer look like a noble pioneer. But while we're at it, shouldn't Thanksgiving be seen through the same lens? Our perception of Thanksgiving, as many things learned in the dominant Western curriculum, is Eurocentric, blatantly disregarding the truth behind the colonization of America. Today, there is no better example of the ironic juxtaposition of our perception versus reality. Then on Thanksgiving Day in Plymouth, Massachusetts, there one can find a parade of locals sporting pilgrim attire and marching through the historic town before their annual feast, while a large group of Native Americans are fasting and standing in protest on Coles Hill in a national day of mourning.
You know, I wanted to say one thing too, like slavery and in general, like both slavery, enslavement of like Black people and Native Americans, especially, and like taking their land. Like each slave would be worth around like $92,000 in today's money, plus the 20 years of wages and room and board you wouldn't have to pay a paid laborer. Like each slave worth nearly 100K as an asset plus 20 years of free labor. That's the reason why pre-industrialization cotton was the number one exporter of the United States. A company with 10 slaves is $2 million richer than a company without slaves, literally just by existing. Extrapolate that across hundreds of years of pre-industrial economic growth, you can see why the United States became as powerful as it did. Through literal slave labor.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing now, when they just give us checks now.
Well, they still do it now in prisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got like 20 cents an hour.
Not even 20 cents, dude. Some of them, no, not even that, dude. Some in southern states, they can get up to like 2 cents, 3 cents a day.
Fuck.
Yeah, literally, it's just slavery. Even if it was 20 cents, that's still slavery.
And that's because you got caught with like 4 grams of Molly, so they give you 10 years.
Right.
Fuck
10 years in the chain gang for a little bit of funny.
Go in there as an alpha, you come out with a loose
butthole.
Farts sound like wind passing.
Well, easier to hide Molly in.
Right, you won't get caught this time because you can put it farther up.
Like what happened to your starfish, boy?
Cop ain't digging too far unless he's really weird.
Putting the fingers in that ugly pucker.
All right. What are you showing us, Jay? What are you showing us?
Yeah,
these are the protesters every year.
Where though?
On Coles Hill in
okay.
Plymouth, Massachusetts.
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 It's so cute.
Massachusetts?
What the fuck?
She got a door. She's like, oh, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Started in 1970, these protests began when a local Wampanoag leader, Wamsa'a, was invited by a Commonwealth of Massachusetts to speak on the 350th anniversary of the Pilgrim's Landing. What the fuck is so funny? Why am I saying it wrong? What's the problem?
Just say Plymouth, Mass, bro.
Bro, I've been saying Massachusetts like that for as long as
what
I can remember.
Fuck?
You've been saying it wrong.
This motherfucker makes fun of my voice. But I've never heard anybody say Massachusetts like that before.
Though I accept it.
He said it like that.
That time it's not the Dizzle. I'll tell you that.
No, that's definitely a permanent thing.
Yeah, it's been like that for 35 years. All right. Anyway,
the Dizzle is channeling it.
He penned a speech detailing the pillaging of graves and enslavement of his people.
What's happening?
I'm trying to grab my straw and it wouldn't.
Yo,
that's Dizzle. That's Dizzling right there. Jay just showed some of his experience on the stoop.
He was still
First of all, if you doing things like that in Buffalo on the stoop, y'all motherfuckers is raw.
We don't got stoops, we got porches. Listen.
You just have like
fuck you, okay, white boy?
Sitting rocks.
Nah, I'm not fucking with you. I'm just being real. We didn't have those big ass apartment like complexes and shit. It was all shitty 1950s prefab homes that were falling apart.
We didn't have stoops. We had porches.
Shitty broken porches.
Man, you need to get a Bluetooth straw, bro.
A Bluetooth straw? How does that work?
Because that one ain't working for you.
Yeah, can I get some Bluetooth plumbing, please?
Where the fuck was I?
Send my shit out the other side.
Oh, you got that loose starfish.
Being asked instead to.
Why do you think I need Bluetooth plumbing, bro?
While some know the truth of Thanksgiving, most of us have been socially programmed with a whitewash narrative that purports of a harmonious feast between the Wampanoag Native Americans and the Pilgrims. In elementary school, we were made to act out the sanitized story in plays, create Indian headdresses, and don big brass belt buckles with pilgrims' hats. We were indoctrinated.
What is that?
You got an Atari going on back there, bro?
Now
Is
the
that
feds,
me?
the feds are listening to us.
It's an Atari.
The fuck? That shit was AOL.
Yeah,
I was like, yo.
the feds are listening to us talk about Thanksgiving. Oh, Richard, he's talking about the Thanksgiving myth. We got to send it a hit team.
But
He's
wasn't
talking
the
about whitewashing history.
they didn't when forgot that guy's name.
Operation Turkey.
When they first got here, they just masked themselves as pilgrims because pilgrims was like very like religious people, weren't they?
Yeah, there was different types of people that migrated to the colonies. There was the religious ones. The Quakers were mostly the pilgrims. They were like
Yeah, the guy that makes the oats.
the guy that makes the oats.
Yeah, he was the
The
first
oat
motherfucker
man.
here. He was the first nigga here.
It was a ship full of oat men.
The Quaker guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He
It
was
was
like everybody. Like, I don't know.
It was a
like one of
ship
my
full of
uncles.
that dude. Just all of those dudes.
You say he looks like one of your uncles?
Yeah,
I will terminate the oats.
man, that's the face I look for though. They don't have that. I look for great value. Fuck it.
He's probably the only face still standing since they took away our fucking Uncle Ben's and Aunt Jemima's.
Random fact: did you know fucking
I still get
Kellogg's?
Uncle Ben's,
what's up?
right?
Uncle Ben's?
Yeah, it
What
says Uncle Ben's, but it don't have the guy on it no more.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
They did that
Just
with
like-
they did that
just
with
like
racist.
Aunt Jemima's is
Yeah.
her milling company now.
That's fucking racist.
Exactly.
Listen, I want to know who the
That's
fuck is
they
the
took it
Farina
off.
kid?
That's why they said they took
Who's
it off
what?
because it was racist.
fucking
The little
Kellogg's
boy
made
on the Farina
cornflakes.
box. Like, I want to meet him. That motherfucker changed my life. It's like the Gerber baby, and then he grew up a little bit, and they used him for the Farina and shit.
Fun fact: the nursing home that I work in, a couple years back, there was a gentleman that was living there. He has since deceased, but I believe it was his wife who is the face of Little Debbie.
What?
But question is she alive?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
he
dude,
was in
she
the-
lives
he
through her
was a-
pastries.
I
he
only
was
knew
the
because he
dad,
had
because if
pictures
he
of
was
all of
in
that.
he was in, you said in the old he was in the senior citizen home.
Yeah,
Why the fuck she wasn't there? I mean, she died.
probably.
Little Debbie died, bro.
I mean,
Sad now.
she's old.
Shit. That's like Wendy.
Those cakes expired.
That's like Wendy, bro.
That's like Wendy.
I think
Wendy.
she's still alive.
Who, Wendy?
The Wendy's girl.
Yeah, she probably with the fucking Quaker Oats guy.
Was she a
fucking
real
getting a
girl?
blowjob.
Yeah, Nick Thomas's daughter. The dude who made Wendy's, that's his daughter.
Oh, okay. The more you know.
That makes sense. She's probably still alive,
I
kicking.
think she's still alive because Dave Thomas probably died like 20 years ago. So she probably almost.
It's
like,
a shame we we know this. We even asking questions about this.
Wait, how do you know Wendy's, Lord Ray?
I know everything. Don't ask me.
All right, great.
This
He said Wendy's lower. Like it's not
How
that
about
crazy.
Papa John's?
Papa John's is.
Oh, you mean the racist guy that got his company taken away and now Shaq's the spokesperson?
I don't think
Day of Vengeance.
I'm waiting for them to change the picture. I want to see Shaq on that bitch.
Fuck Shaq.
Then they're gonna have to name it Shaq Johns.
Hey yo, I'd be like,
Shaka Johns.
Hey, we got the moisture sandwich now.
Come get the extra large Shakiza.
Big Shaq. Big Shaq's pizza. All right, where the fuck was I? In elementary school, we were made to act out these sanitized stories and plays, create Indian headdresses, and don big brass belt buckles with pilgrim hats. We were indoctrinated with the misconstrued understanding of history. And who's to say that the teachers even knew that they were spreading misinformation?
They really did y'all ever like?
I remember doing that.
Give and play. Did y'all?
Did
ever
we?
No,
I never did a Thanksgiving play.
No,
No.
Yeah, I
they
never
made
did.
us do like the Indian.
Oh, they would have been mad at me.
Indian thingy with the
Yeah, we
feather
did have to make
and
shit like
that.
Yeah, me too. I did that too.
Like, yeah, like fucking hand
The
turkey.
fucking hand, yeah.
No, but the hats too, like the
Yeah,
pilgrim
the
hat
hats.
and the
They were
Indian
playing
headdress.
with us, bro. They were just laughing at us, bro. They just like, let's make them look all fucking retarded, do the stupid shit.
Fucking my school had us paint our skins red. Sometimes like they would let us paint our skin red and shit when we were natives.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with you.
They were painting your
Only in
nails.
Buffalo, bro. Only in Buffalo.
Our football team was named the Redskins.
Oh, well, I mean that's normal.
That's normal. Only because it's
Like-
only because it's in the NFL.
No, it's
Yeah.
not more, but it used to be for the longest time.
Right. Same thing happened to our football team, bro.
What did they changed the team name to what?
Redskins to Legends now. Lancaster Legends. Gay as fuck.
Lancaster
Fuck
legend.
that. Go back to Redskins. That's-
Right. None of the natives in
The
the area
Legends.
cared about it.
That's what I was just about
Wait,
to
wasn't Washington
Brandon Lee.
Redskins the shit too? And now they're what? Washington football team? That's the gayest shit in the world.
It's Commanders, and nigga, he just said it like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I'm
were just
sorry,
talking
I
about that for
wasn't
like 2 minutes straight.
I
Oh,
thought
you-
he was talking about
He
Buffalo.
was
His
too
shit.
worried about taking
I thought
the-
Darby was talking
the-
about his team in
the
Buffalo.
filter for
Oh,
him.
Buffalo
For me,
Bills.
that's why he was in the sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was looking like Brandon Lee.
Bruce Lee, son?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, because he died in doing the crow. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I
mean-
got you.
All right.
Some of us might remember being taught the name Squanto, the Pawtucket Native American who helped the Pilgrims. What?
I wasn't taught that shit. That's a lie. That's
I
a
didn't
goddamn
know who the fuck he
know what
was
the
until
hell
I
that
saw
is.
the article the other day.
It said some of us, right?
Wow.
Right. Where was I?
I'm telling you that it was me. I'm part of
The
that.
Pawtucket Native American.
Damn.
Huh?
I said
What was that?
you kept saying that. I didn't hear that shit. They didn't teach me that shit.
They probably did, but who
Nah,
gave a fuck? Like,
I remember learning all of that shit, but it's like as I'm older now, I like who cares, bro? Like them niggas lost. They lost. That's basically what it comes down
I
to.
couldn't pay attention, bro. They would say Christopher Columbus. I said, what kind of name is you know, I couldn't be in the classes, bro.
It's easy to have that attitude till one day in the distant future when America collapses for one reason or another and we're getting subjugated by someone else. Someone can just simply
Darby, trust me, I don't care about that either. Like
Fair.
black people got conquered. It happens.
Jesus.
Puerto Ricans are next.
Bro, we've been there, done that too.
Can't
What are you
conquer us.
talking about?
You
Puerto
can't
Rico.
conquer us
You think-
anymore.
you
We're a
think this-
Commonwealth now, so like
You think the Spaniards and the French were like, "Hey, this is a nice island. Let's trade some stuff." No, they were like, "Come here.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pillage and rape your fucking women."
Well,
And y'all
the
gonna
kids are
have
gonna
all
look like
the
my
babies.
ancestors with a
they
mix of
enslaved the different people individually, but now they're gonna come for hybrids. All of your mix, we're doing it to mix people now. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
What?
No, I'm saying like, you know, they enslaved only blacks at one point, and then
Nah, dude,
Indians are-
they
the
didn't.
Spanish
We were all-
colonies had an entire caste system.
and then they came together, right?
You ever heard the term mestizo?
No.
That's a term for there's like an entire caste system for like different colored peoples inside of Spanish territories during like the colonial
Inside
period.
of you.
Mhm.
Inside
Mulatto.
of
That's
you.
where the term mulatto comes from. Mulatto was a caste term.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Now mulatto's just a stripper name.
It's Jay's favorite stripper.
mulatto ones. No? Anybody? No? Okay.
All right. Well, what they failed to tell us, however, was he had already been captured by a European sea captain, sold into slavery, escaped, and made his way back from England, yet still found himself to help out our immigrant forefathers in their dire need.
I am captain now.
Our,
I'm sorry.
our teachers would also leave out the part when some European when some European settlers
When
turned
Tom
on the
Cruise
bomb
took
bomb.
control back of the ship.
No, that was the Last Samurai, and it wasn't a ship; it was a village. Get it right.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the one where there's a pirate. It was like, I'm the captain now.
That's Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I'm sorry.
I fucked him up with that one.
That's the weed.
What you smoking on? Got you that fucked up? Shit.
Oh yeah, man. The dab bit. I'm not worried about Jay.
Look at me. Look at me. You're getting on my boat.
But yes, Jay,
Come now.
Continue on for us.
Certainly. Where the fuck was I?
Yeah, that's what happens when you stare off into space.
Don't blame the Dizzle. You already did that.
We're telling us about how we did that shit at school, and they had us fucking making hand turkeys and all that other nonsense.
I wasn't saying that.
Not you.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
teachers would also leave out the part when soon some European settlers turned on the Wampanoag and other native tribes. Within a few decades, most natives would die at the hands of settlers if they weren't already dying from smallpox that they brought. And shortly after the first Thanksgiving feast, settlers were literally giving thanks for the death of hundreds of natives after the Paquette massacre of 1637.
Yeah, dude, the Paquette Wars were fucking brutal.
Where 700 natives were brutally slaughtered. But we must have been much too young at that age to be told this misfortunate series of events that happened so long ago. We live in much more civilized times today where Native Americans are respected and their history and culture is honored right.
Do we, though?
No, we don't. This is their article.
Gotcha.
So they're respected.
This article
sucks.
It does. We'll get to the real history in a second. I just wanted to show you a couple of different perspectives in these articles. One sees the history that we didn't get as whitewashing, whereas the other just sees it needs to be rectified in the name of the natives. So,
I mean, Dre made a good point. Dre just simply said, I mean, like, some people just don't give a shit because, it's so far in the past.
Well,
right.
What are we gonna do about it now?
Right.
What is talking about it is a good thing. It's a good place to start, but realistically, they done killed off most of the Native Americans.
I mean, I don't agree with that exactly. I mean, like, it's still like hard to, but there's things that could be done.
Like what?
Like giving more land back to them, actual
yeah. But what Dre's getting at is that there are very few.
That shit is over with, bro. They don't get you killed
right. Like the ones that are
okay. On the
there are
reservation,
not many
that's
true blood
mine,
natives left, bro.
On the reservations near me,
left.
Half Blood or whatever, on the reservation near me, like there's quite a few people living there, and some of the immediate things I could think of that they can improve is local infrastructure overall. Better electrical services, probably a stable and like internet connection that probably doesn't run on like landline speeds, like modernizing it and actually having capable infrastructure for these people who have already been disenfranchised from the start.
So they can tax them and call it welfare?
Well, you don't even have to tax them for it because they don't pay taxes anyway. Plus, they provide services to the peoples and communities around the reservation, like cheap gas.
That's why they won't give it to them.
But that's not the point. It's like obviously they're not going to do anything about it because they don't give a shit. But my point is like, what could we do? That's what the question was.
Just learn from our mistakes and not never do it again.
You can always do more, but it's all about coming together for that.
They do it every day, bro.
Pinky promise.
They know they could do more. That's just not a discussion they're having. Hey, guess what we could do? Hey, you know what I thought about? We'll come back to that anyway. Let's do something else. Except what we want to talk about.
Well, historychannel.com.
History Channel.
Historychannel.com. This is Thanksgiving history, facts, and trivia from the History Channel. It starts off by saying Thanksgiving may be America's most beloved national holiday, but its history is all over the place. Even the details of the famous feast between the Plymouth colony settlers and the Wampanoag Native Americans in November of 1621 are sketchy. The best account we have is a letter from English settler Edward Winslow that never mentions the word Thanksgiving, but tells of a week-long harvest celebration that included a 3-day celebration with King Massaquoi and 90 Wampanoag men. So we might, after a more special manner, rejoice together. Over the centuries, that briefly mentioned feast week has taken on a life of its own, which each generation adding its own take on the fall tradition. We've pulled together some little known trivia so you have something to talk about other than politics around Thanksgiving dinner table this November. Or in the break room with your pals on a Saturday night with a fucking drink.
Sir.
A fucking drink.
Drank. Where was the first Thanksgiving?
Philadelphia or Massachusetts?
Are you asking?
New England? No.
In England.
I'm not sure if I'm
New
asking.
New England.
That's the next question that it says, and then it has a whole bunch of shit. So
Wasn't it Plymouth?
What's up?
Where did you say, Darby? You said Pennsylvania? Mach,
No.
Where did you say?
No, I said
It was
Philadelphia
either
or
New England or
Massachusetts.
down in
Fucking Pennsylvania.
I said Plymouth.
I mean, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania, so yeah.
What was this? The first time they landed? The first time they got there?
Plymouth
Rock.
Rock.
We just read Plymouth Rock. And do you know where Plymouth is, Dre? Because we just read 2 articles that said it many times.
I was gonna say,
yeah, it's in Mass.
you talking about the one in Mass?
Yeah, it's in Plymouth, Mass.
Yep.
Colonists and Wampanoag tribe shared an autumn harvest feast in 1621 in Plymouth, Mass. That is widely acknowledged as one of the first Thanksgiving celebrations. But some historians argue that Florida, not Mass, may have been the true site of the first Thanksgiving in North America.
Oh yeah, there was
in 1565, nearly 60 years before Plymouth, a Spanish fleet came ashore and planted a cross in the sandy beaches on to Christian the new settlement of St. Augustine. To celebrate the arrival and give thanks for God's providence, the 800 Spanish settlers shared a festive meal with the native Tumacan people. So the more you know.
Well, it sounds believable it would be Florida because, that's where boats would dock from anyway.
It makes sense too. There's a lot of rivaling like Native American tribes in the area.
All right,
Pablo Loco.
Here's another question from y'all. For y'all. What did they eat at the first Thanksgiving?
Wild hog.
Wild hog? What do you say, Jasmine?
I know that.
I know that he's right away.
Isn't it green corn?
So I don't
She knows the answers because she read it. So what do y'all think? Dre, what you think they ate?
These nuts.
I was gonna say ass.
Starfish.
I mean, after a few cups of Dizzle, they might have.
Birds.
Everyone was thankful for the salad.
Birds. What you say, Mach?
I'm thankful for this ass.
I swore I read somewhere say like
he's gonna say ass
green
too.
corn or some shit like that. I think it was like green corn. They used to celebrate some shit like that with green corn. I might be wrong.
It was called maize back then. What about you, Darby?
Nah, probably bird or chicken. I don't know.
Murdered chicken.
The Thanksgiving meal in Plymouth probably had little in common with today's traditional holiday spread. Although turkeys were indigenous, there's no record of a big roasted bird at the feast. The Wampanoag brought deer, and there would have been lots of local seafood like mussels, lobster, and bass, plus the fruits of the first pilgrim harvest, including pumpkin. No mashed potatoes, though. Potatoes had only been recently shipped back to Europe from South Africa.
So what they're doing, eating that shit raw?
They
Like
had no mashed potato.
No mashed potatoes, no turkey. They were eating seafood, venison, fruits, and vegetables.
Everything we don't.
Oh, and birds.
No, it doesn't say birds.
It doesn't have, dude. They would eat birds. Everyone hunted birds in that time.
well, they had guns, of course. Yeah, and no
The
hounds.
only thing I liked about that list was the deer, because I do like deer.
Venison's awesome.
But everything else is just garbage.
When did America first call for a national Thanksgiving?
I have no idea.
November the 3rd, the last Thursday of the month of November.
What year?
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. 19 something.
No, hell no. 19 is nowhere near it.
Like probably like
1700s.
What you said, Dre?
Probably like late 1700s.
Yeah, late 1700s. America first called for a national day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the British in the Battle of Saratoga in 1789. George Washington again called for National Day of Thanks on the last Thursday of November to commemorate the end of the Revolutionary War and to end the rectification of the Constitution. And during the Civil War, both the Confederacy and the Union issued Thanksgiving Day proclamations following major victories. Which president refused to recognize Thanksgiving?
Abraham Lincoln, wasn't it?
That would have, yeah, that's probably my guess.
2 Lincolns. Anybody else?
I wouldn't know this one.
I'll go with Lincoln.
Lincoln. 3 Lincolns. 3 Lincolns and I don't care.
That's not I don't care. It's I don't know.
President IDK.
Which president refused to recognize Thanksgiving? The answer is Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
He was famously the only founding father and early president who refused to declare days of Thanksgiving and fasting in the United States. Unlike his political rivals, the Federalists, Jefferson believed in a wall of separation between church and state and believed that that endorsing such celebrations as president would amount to a state-sponsored religious worship. All right.
So he was insane. Got it.
Yeah.
It's all that mercury. That's the guy. That's one of the guys who wrote our Constitution, guys.
So what the fuck did he eat for Thanksgiving?
Mercury.
Pounds and pounds of fucking tuna.
What does the poem "Mary Had a Little Lamb" have to do with Thanksgiving?
What?
What does the poem "Mary Had a Little Lamb" have to do with Thanksgiving?
Oh, when you're looking for turkeys, you run into some sheep, and then found out Mary had one.
Yeah.
That's Farmer Joe's daughter. He just found out Mary had a little lamb. I could be wrong. I'm just, you ask.
It's like a fucking riddle.
No, you want a fucking nursery rhyme with riddle? Okay.
No.
Was Bingo the name of the dog or the farmer?
The dog.
Both.
You sure?
Me am I sure? It's the song for all these years. You trying to tell me it was a lie?
Sing the song real quick.
He was singing the song
I'm
for
dead
the
ass.
dog.
I am singing
I don't
it.
even remember the song.
There was a farm who had a dog, and
B-I-N-G-O,
Bingo was there was a farmer.
And Bingo was his name-o.
B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name-o.
Yeah, the farmer was telling the.
Well, was his name because he died probably. Saying was, but
what is this retarded discussion?
Because that's not where the song ends.
He was on the fucking list with the dead rappers.
All right, we're gonna
something
take
happens after you get to the end of Bingo.
We're gonna take a little
what the fuck happened?
a little
at the end of
detour.
Bingo? I thought that was the end of it. After you said B-I-N-G-O,
The face your character is making looks like a detour right now.
Now it says, "Is Bingo?"
Like Luigi's getting the guac.
What?
Your fucking character is making like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was having fucking.
He was high as fuck. Player 2 got something going on. And it ain't Dizzle.
Where was I?
Man, Luigi's just dizzling really hard.
Man, Luigi look high as fuck.
Says, unfortunately, we have led to believe that Bingo is the name of the dog, but the truth is, it is actually the name of the
Luigi's
farmer.
eyes bugging out.
Here is why. Fact.
What the
The
fuck?
song goes on like this. Oh, where was it? I gotta click it.
Y'all, this guy, did you pull up an article for this?
I did.
It's starting to make sense now that you think about it. Everybody just thought it was the dog because it says and Bingo was his name. It's like, well, who? Because it sounds now that you
But
say
the song keeps going on. It doesn't stop at the dog.
So then sing it.
I'm getting it right now.
Sing it to us.
Hey, Jay.
There
Name-
was a farmer who
Jay.
had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, Bingo, Bingo, Bi. Oh no, it does keep going on with the dog.
Yeah,
There's more to the song. You don't see.
It's like the chicken. The chicken or the egg? Which one came first, the egg or the chicken? It's basically the same.
I think I might have got Bingo mixed up with the motherfucking.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yo, this.
What?
The dizzle. The dizzle.
I was just
No,
gonna
no,
say-
but seriously, I'm
You're hilarious, bro.
Are we getting
still.
back to Turkey Day?
Yes, we're gonna get back to the Turkey Day, but
I don't call it Thanksgiving. I call it Turkey Day.
Bingo's
Jay's Dizzle Day.
Bingo's not the dog.
Call it gobble gobble day.
That's
Gobble gobble.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Diz giving.
Happy birthday.
Happy Indigenous People Day.
Of course. If you get
All
back
right,
to
so Mary had a little lamb. What did it have to do with Thanksgiving? That was the question.
That's why we went all the way.
Okay, yeah, that's when I said you're looking for a turkey, you come across a sheep, find out it belongs to little like Mary.
That's all she had to
Little
offer.
Mary. Where your little lamb at, ho?
Sounds and looks like Luigi's doing a fucking.
Hey, yo, fam, you seen a turkey around here? You know that little gobble gobble shit that makes noise? That's a cute little lamb. What's your name? Mary? All right, cool. Point me in the direction.
No,
No, Mary was the person that had the lamb, not the name of the lamb. You're getting shit confused now.
No, what? You're not listening.
Anyway, the first official proclamation of a national Thanksgiving
Not listening.
holiday didn't come until 1863 when President Abraham Lincoln called for an annual Thanksgiving celebration on the final Thursday in November. The proclamation was the result of years of impassioned lobbying by Mary Had a Little Lamb author, the abolitionist Sarah Joseph Hale.
All right.
How long has pumpkin pie been a traditional part of Thanksgiving?
50 years.
50? What you say,
Probably
Dre?
Like 100 years.
100? Darby, what you say?
I think it's a tradition. Well, I don't know. Probably like if you want to get technical, they had like traditions of Thanksgiving before like what we know.
No, pumpkin pie, you fuck. When did it become?
I misheard you. I'm retarded. Pumpkin pie? I don't know. It's probably new.
What about you, Migs? Hey, yo, Migs. When was Thanksgiving? When was pumpkin pie made traditional on Thanksgiving? Give me $1 while you at it.
He's not there.
You not there? Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Take it aside.
Hey, yo. All right. Pumpkin pie was a staple on New England Thanksgiving tables as far back as the turn of the 18th century. Legend has it that the Connecticut...
Wait. That's not a year. Does it actually have a
Turn
number?
of a century.
I'm going to give you a
100 years
year.
ago.
If the year is coming.
18th century is 1700s, Joe.
No, I'm saying, no, nigga, I know that. I'm saying when it says turn of the century, I wanted an actual number.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a number. Legend has it that the Connecticut town of Colchester postponed its Thanksgiving feast for a week in 1705 due to a molasses shortage. There could simply be no Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie. So if they postponed it in 1705 because they couldn't make the pumpkin pie, that probably means it wasn't even early 1700s, but rather late 1600s. Pumpkin pie was probably
16
one of the craziest original foods that we probably thought was like Darby was something new. When did we start canning cranberries?
Probably like the 40s.
Yeah,
40s?
I would say around
Yeah,
the
I
50s.
would say that 40s maybe.
Era.
Maybe, you know what?
1940s?
No. Wait, canning?
You got to be more specific.
Maybe,
yeah, of course, the 1940s.
maybe a little earlier.
Probably
Like 1920, 1945.
Get the fuck.
All right, so I got a 1940. I heard a 1920. What else?
I said 1950.
1950. What you said, Darby?
Let's say maybe late 1800s.
He said Buffalo, New York.
I'm going with Darby on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Because my dad was born in 1957, bro.
Yeah, all wrong. Cranberries were eaten by Native Americans and used as a potent red dye.
When were they canned?
But sweetened cranberry relish was almost certainly not on the first Thanksgiving table. The Pilgrims had long
This was
exhausted
not
their
the
sugar
question.
supply
Right?
by November 1621. Marcus Uran canned the first jelly cranberry sauce in 1912 and eventually founded the cranberry growers cooperative known as Ocean Spray.
Fake news.
1912, Darby was still kind of.
How did a botched Thanksgiving order lead to the first TV tray dinner?
We're not
what?
like we don't know who the fuck knows that.
What?
Yeah, right.
What do you
am
say?
Am I a TV dinner historian now?
Not even that. He's reading this shit because nobody would just know the answer to that off the top of their head.
What
All right, so we'll skip that one. In short,
actually, I have a PhD in TV dinners.
Really, the Swanson Company overestimated their demand for Thanksgiving turkeys, and the company had 260 tons of extra frozen birds. So, as a solution, Swanson salesmen ordered 5,000 aluminum trays, devised a turkey meal, and recruited an assembly line of workers to compile what would become the first TV dinner. A culinary hit was born, and the first full year of production in 1954, the company sold 10 million turkey TV dinner trays.
Or doesn't Tucker Carlson's family come from that?
Doesn't what?
Tucker Carlson, the guy on Fox News?
He's
I don't
the
fucking know.
primordial goo of the fucking factory line floor of the TV dinners.
I don't fucking know.
I would say it's Swanson, but he could be related.
How many football watchers we got on the show?
Oh my god, bro!
I haven't watched it for like 12 years.
So Dre, you watch football? Miggs, you watch football?
Of course. Yeah, of course I do.
All right. So why is football a Thanksgiving tradition?
Because it's the only sports team that's actually
money.
Thanksgiving.
Darby says money.
I was gonna say money's the answer, really, no matter what. But
yeah, marketing.
Then they play football to celebrate
the commercialization of holidays.
To celebrate Kennedy, you said?
No.
Kennedy.
For killing the Indians, they would play with a ball that was made out of the skin when they used to skin their heads and shit. Yes, they used to play soccer with it. They used to be called football.
Yes.
All right. The winning combo of football and Thanksgiving kicked off way before there was anything called the NFL. The first Thanksgiving football game was a college match between Yale and Princeton in 1876, only 13 years after Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday.
Back when he didn't need to wear helmets.
Soon after, Thanksgiving was picked for the date of the college football championships. By the 1890s, thousands of college and high school football rivalries were played every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So now that the NFL had to pick up on that. Who was the first president to pardon a turkey?
The what? You said the pardon the turkey?
Yeah, you know the annual pardoning of a turkey.
Oh fuck.
I actually don't.
So every year, the president gets a turkey and it spares its life. Like
it was a newer one. It was a newer one. It wasn't Nixon.
Reagan.
Nah, was it Kennedy? I learned this in history class.
Yeah, Darby is right. Starting in the 1940s, farmers would gift the president with some plump birds for roast turkeys over the holidays, which the first family would inevitably eat. While President John F. Kennedy was the first American president to spare a turkey's life, we'll just let this one grow, JFK quitted in 1963. It's our Thanksgiving present to him. The annual White House tradition of pardoning a turkey officially started. Oh, so it wasn't JFK. Anybody got any ideas?
Samuel Adams.
JFK technically was the one that started it, but he wasn't the one to officiate it. Who made it official? Anybody? I'll give you a hint. It was recent.
Nixon.
Like in most of our lifetimes.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
Clinton.
Oh, are you talking about Bush?
That's 3 Clintons. Is that 3 Clintons or is that 2 Clintons in the Bush?
It was Daddy Bush.
2 Clintons in the Bush. Yeah, pervs.
2 Clintons in the Bush. Now, that's a story.
For another time.
The annual White House tradition of pardoning a turkey officially started with George H.W. Bush in 1989.
Yep, Daddy Bush.
Those birds are terrorists.
Which president received a raccoon as a Thanksgiving gift?
Oh, fuck.
Nixon. He's a piece of shit. Or was that Reagan?
Calvin Coolidge. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, no, you're bro, Dre, you hit it on the head, bro.
Mm-hmm. Calvin Coolidge?
Yeah. In 1926, President Calvin Coolidge received a somewhat odd Thanksgiving gift in the form of a live raccoon. Meant to be eaten, the Mississippi man who sent it called raccoon meat toothsome. The Coolidge family adopted the pet and named it Rebecca. Rebecca was only the latest addition to their already subsequential White House manger that included a black bear and wallaby and a pygmy hippo named Billy. Bro, are you kidding me? He had a fucking small zoo in the White House? I never learned about that.
It was the petting zoo, bro.
That's not what they want you to learn about.
Crazy shit.
That's where you fed political dissidents.
That's where bestiality started.
It was the Emperor's lion pit.
Does anybody know when the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was?
Oh, New York City.
No, he said.
I said when, you fuck.
Actually, I want to say probably in the fucking 70s.
70s?
60s, maybe.
I'll say.
Actually, no.
50.
I'm thinking about the floats. The actual parade is probably long older.
1950. Let's go.
I'll say 50s. No. 40s, because I know Macy's been around for a fucking long ass time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they waited a while for the parade.
Dar, what you think?
2030s?
50.
Pick one, Darby.
To celebrate the
20s
expansion.
through 30s.
To celebrate the expansion of its Herald Square Superstore, Macy's announced its very first big Christmas parade 2 weeks before Thanksgiving in 1924, promising magnificent floats, bands, and an animal circus. A huge success. Macy's trimmed the parade route from 6 miles to 2 miles and signed a TV contract with NBC to broadcast the now famous Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Fuck that parade.
Macy's will forever make money from that.
All right, Dre, then here was the question that you thought that was going to be. When did Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade start featuring balloons?
The floats, right? That's probably much later. Well, like probably 20, 30 years.
No, the floats were first. The balloons came much later after.
All right, so give me some years.
70s.
70s,
50 again.
50,
50s.
50s.
Got
Jay,
5 on.
what did you say?
Jay or Dre?
Dre,
Great.
Probably like 50s.
50s. The first oversized balloons debuted in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1927. The brainchild of Anthony
fuck was that,
Frederick
3 years
Picard.
later?
3 years later,
It was a hit by balloons.
a German-born puppeteer and theatrical designer who also created Macy's fantastical Christmas window displays. The first balloons were filled with oxygen, not helium. That year, they featured Felix the cat and inflated animals like elephants, tigers, and a giant hummingbird. So that would make Felix the cat the first cartoon character to have his own float.
Did you say hummingbird?
What? Hummingbird.
Okay.
Which president tried to move the date of Thanksgiving and why?
Man, I read that part.
Wait, say that question again. State your question again.
Jay's Dizzlin.
You're doing something. Look at the way slow his eyes are moving.
Hold on.
He said, "Who's the first president?"
I try to skip ahead.
First president who started
The
Disney
date of Thanksgiving and why? The first president to try to change the date of Thanksgiving and why?
Try to move it.
Oh no.
Nixon?
Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Yeah, Marshall's right.
Roosevelt?
Concerned that the Christmas shopping season was cut short by a late Thanksgiving, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt decreed in 1939 that Thanksgiving would be celebrated a week earlier. Franksgiving, as it was known, was decreed by Thanksgiving traditionalists and political rivals. One even compared FDR to Hitler, and was only adopted by 23 of the 48 states. Congress officially moved Thanksgiving back to the fourth Thursday of November in 1941, where it has remained ever since.
The fourth Thursday?
The fourth Thursday, yes.
All right. So what happens to the third?
It's just a regular Thursday.
Right? Just like any other Thursday, you fuck.
Back to business.
All right, so we're gonna take you. This is gonna be the last thing that we touch on tonight. It'll be the supposed timeline of Thanksgiving as given by the History Channel. Was it this? I thought it was something else.
You have a technical difficulty?
No, I just want to.
He looks like one.
Shut your face.
You just want to.
I thought it was an history. Where'd that go?
They didn't give it the history. They gave it the...
This is shit. This is shit. All right, let's see what they cover, and I guess we'll fill in the blanks.
No.
Just ask Wikipedia. They always tell the truth and lie at the same time.
1541, Spanish explorers hold a feast. English settlers weren't the first to celebrate a Thanksgiving feast on American soil, according to the Texas Society Daughters of America colonists. The very first Thanksgiving was observed by Spanish explorer Francisco Velasquez de Corralando.
You're Spanish and you can't read Spanish names? Come on, bro.
Corralando is what it says.
Show me that link.
Accompanied by 15,000 men. 1,500 men in full armor. Coronado left Mexico in 1540 and marched north in search of gold.
What's north?
As the company camped in Paulo Duro Canyon in 1541, Padre Fray Juan de Padilla called for a feast of prayer and thanksgiving, beating out the Plymouth Thanksgiving by 79 years. 1598, the second early feast among Spanish. A second Texas town claims to have been the real site of the first Thanksgiving in America. In 1598, a wealthy Spanish dignitary named Juan de Onate was granted lands among Pueblo Indians in the American Southwest. He decided to blaze a new path directly across the Chihuahua Desert to reach the Rio Grande. Onate's party of 500 soldiers, women, and children barely survived the harrowing journey, nearly dying of thirst and exhaustion. When they reached the river, 2 horses reportedly drank so much water that their stomachs burst. After 10 days of rest and recuperation, near modern day San Elizaro, Texas, Onate ordered a feast of Thanksgiving, which one of his men described in his journal. We built a great bonfire and roasted the meat and fish, and then all sat down to a repast, the like of which we had never enjoyed before. We were happy our trails were over, as happy as were the passengers in the ark when they saw the dove returning with the olive branch in its beak, bringing tidings that the deluge had subsided. August 9th, 1607, the colonists' Native American feast in Maine. There are also competing claims as to what was the first feast of Thanksgiving actually shared with Native Americans. In 1607, English colonists at Fort St. George assembled for a harvest feast and prayer meeting with the Abenaki Indians of Maine. But some historians claim that the Spanish founders of St. Augustine, Florida, shared a festive meal with the native Tamunacan people when their ships came ashore back in 1565, which we touched in the last article. We all know the traditional November 1621, the Plymouth Feast. According to American tradition, this is when Thanksgiving really began. Archival evidence is slim, but according to a letter from Plymouth colonist Edward Winslow, dated 1621, the colonists wanted to celebrate their first good crop of corn and barley grown with generous assistance from the native Wampanoag Indians. But we all know that the dude that got taken really is to blame for a lot of that massacre. November 23rd, 1775, Boston Patriot calls for Thanksgiving. In the run-up to the Revolutionary War, a group of Boston patriots published a pointedly anti-British proclamation for a day of public thanksgiving throughout the Mass Colony to be held November 23rd, 1775. That such a band of union, founded upon the best principles, unites the American colonies, that our rights and privileges are so far preserved to us, notwithstanding all the attempts of our barbarous enemies to deprave us of them. I got some.
Hilarious.
And to offer up humble and fervent prayers to Almighty God for the whole British Empire, especially for the United American colonies. December 18th, 1777, colonies celebrate a Thanksgiving. So what the fuck? There was how many fucking Thanksgivings were there?
Probably tons.
Like, come on, bro. This is the history of Thanksgiving. It's not gonna be celebrated at the same time everywhere throughout the country.
Exactly.
Was that what you thought?
No. That's what we were led to believe, though.
No.
Like most of these claim.
Who told you to believe that?
Most of these. I'm 35 years old right now. All right. I believe what I research and what there's evidence of. But when we're younger and we're going through these textbooks that they're making us learn, that they're feeding us, that they're feeding our children still, you don't hear about none of this shit.
Yeah, they don't want to have to own up for the lies or the misdirection of information and history in the books. Because
I would say y'all got kids, right? So when your kids are coming home from school, are they telling them about Christopher Columbus being a good person? Is that still a thing in school? Because I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Story.
I graduated 3 years ago from high school. Like, so when I was in high school, they still taught us Columbus as like a neutral situation. Like, they didn't mention any of his wrongdoings. Just somebody has discovered America, quote unquote, even though he didn't.
That's crazy. They still teach people that, because that's not even true.
It isn't. I think, Leif Erikson or Amerigo Vespucci, depending on which source you want
to. Did you just say fuck Darby? Damn.
What
happened?
I didn't take him out.
Darby? Oh,
you said fuck
I don't
Darby.
know. Whatever happened to Darby on his own accord. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know he was gone.
His phone probably just died or some shit. But I was saying how, like, when we talk about the people getting taught these things, this generation of kids now, they're not rolling with that bullshit anymore. They're getting way too much truth getting put out on the internet. Like when we were growing up, we were taught this shit to be true, or taught all these things. But some people even told me back then, like, man, don't believe that bullshit. They teach you lies in school.
I agree. Critical thinking is an important trait.
Yeah.
I would say you. What happened?
Technical difficulties. I accidentally clicked one of my bookmarks and it just flung me to another page. It's always nice.
That's what I said. You probably fucked your phone up.
Nah, I'm on my PC.
Never mind.
I fucked my PC up, dog. But what are we talking about now? What's going on? Jay, you look like you're for a second your shit froze. It looked like you were just zoning out.
It's muted.
I am zoning out. I'm reading now. I'm reading this to myself. Am I muted? You can't hear me?
I hear you.
I hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I thought I heard somebody say I was muted.
I was asking if you was muted.
Dude, the Dizzle's affecting his internet connection.
All right. The Insider says the holiday's dark past has some people rethinking Thanksgiving. Teachers, professors, and Native Americans told the New York Times in 2020 that they were rethinking the holiday that has re-marginalized the U.S.'s violence and cruelty against Native Americans, giving it names like Thanksgiving, Takesgiving, and the Thanksgiving Massacre. The reflections on Thanksgiving are not new, according to the New York Post. The United American Indians of New England have been publicly mourning on Thanksgiving for decades. Frank James, a Wampanoag activist who helped establish a national day of mourning in 1970, called the Wampanoags' welcoming of the English settlers perhaps our biggest mistake. On
mean,
the
it really
National Day of Mourning. What you said, Dre? It really wasn't a what?
It wouldn't matter. Like,
Oh,
if
shit,
they
okay.
welcomed them or not. When the Europeans came and they wanted to take that shit, they was gonna get it one way or another.
Right. Right. They said on the National Day of Mourning, Native Americans gather in Plymouth, Mass, like we said, and then they do the whole shit. That's what I showed you the picture
protest.
of.
Yeah, the protest. They still do it to this day, though.
Huh? Yeah, they still do that today. Participants National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. Keep going. Where'd it go? That's it?
Yep.
That's the end of the paper?
You fucking bitch.
The fuck is that's a goosebumps
Yep,
ending.
that's it.
Yeah, the guy passed out while he was writing it.
He said, "Fuck
The
this."
second night. That's what that means.
Who said goodnight?
That's it.
The writer.
Second
The
night.
writer.
The writer said goodnight.
Second
He
night
said,
said.
"Fuck this story."
Oh wait, I think this is it right here.
Random topic while we're moving in between, but you hear about the rail strike that's going to occur in 2 weeks? They failed to reach a labor agreement.
You said the rail strike?
Oh, railroad strike, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Rail
largest
strike.
largest union for railroads is going on strike.
That's
Oh
cute.
shit.
That's cute. That's a railroad, brother.
That's cute.
Okay.
Sir, did you find this, sir?
What's up?
I have not.
No?
You looking for another article? Or?
No, there was an
Give
article
it
that I
up,
had
Papa.
that gave the whole account of Squanto and how he came and he basically betrayed everybody. That's how it all started to become a whole fucking shit show.
There's always a sellout.
Right, always.
Judas.
There's always one.
Judas. Bastardo. Babe,
Yes, sir.
Give it up, Papa. Give
You
it
don't
up.
tell me to give it up.
Give it up, Papa.
There's a lot of different stories though. Like when I was looking it up, it was like different stories. Everybody had a different perspective. I was like,
There's so many.
Yeah, it was like crazy.
But the whole account was from the first Thanksgiving. And I have my air quotes for you guys that are listening on Spotify and all of that. It's iffy. You know what I mean? The only thing we can all collectively say is that the one that's supposed to be the traditional Thanksgiving was a whole genocide of fucking people. It was horrible. It wasn't just a feast.
I read one that said that they civilized the Indians because the Indians were killing each other and spreading disease and sacrificing.
No, none of that shit happened until they got there.
When they were fighting each other, but the Europeans definitely didn't civilize them. That's a famous thing called the white man's burden.
Yeah, I read that. one.
That's
the
white man.
I know the Aztecs.
It's a myth. Yeah.
Like, some of the Indians did sacrifice, but they didn't do it like people would like. How do you say? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know why I can't find it.
Okay, but to make the point about the
volunteer their lives and say, "Listen, I want to sacrifice whatever."
Yeah,
they weren't just grabbing fucking people and killing them and shit.
And we did the same shit with prisoners of war in Europe during medieval times, and then even that, like even a European to say, "Oh, look at these uncivilized people sacrificing people." They literally had fucking people in chains. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's just an excuse or justification because there was the Incans and like a lot of the South American native civilizations were quite advanced. They had plumbing and like spacious architecture and various other methods of agriculture that were in some ways superior to the Europeans.
Oh, shit.
Nah, that means someone had that skill, not because they were that somebody just knew the shit.
What do you mean? That's just, I mean, I guess. Hey, Lois.
I got plumbing.
No, but, man doesn't cover your head though.
Right, I know.
There's a bad equilibrium. Oh shit.
I could never get my foot to the work, so I gave up.
Blackface.
No, it's not.
It's a mud mask. It's a mud mask.
It's a face peel.
That's blackface.
That's shirtless Luigi.
Muscle. Oh damn, you got
Steroids, Luigi.
Frolic Luigi. Call me player 2 again, motherfucker. Call me motherfucker. I got a name, you son of a bitch.
What from doing this research and from the little that we could find now, because I couldn't find that one article that I had. What is your take on this whole the real Thanksgiving story?
Which one?
Let's start with you. Let's start with you, Mach.
Man,
Which one? I don't know.
It's just the case, like, you know, another case of people just trying to cover up shit that they know they did wrong. So,
right,
you know, it's a lot of fucked up shit. I don't know, man. I think the S game is bullshit. Like everything else is fucking bullshit. It's just like Darby was saying earlier. It's all about consumerism and shit like that. And they try to groom you at an early age. Let's say, hey, come get these turkeys, and you're poor if you don't fucking cook a turkey on Thanksgiving.
Fuck them.
I mean, they give turkeys for free now everywhere.
Or you get it free after you
It's
spend
it's still getting bought by some fucking government. Like,
that's what the turkey industry wants you to think.
I think it's
I
crazy.
hear you.
Me is all bullshit. I think Thanksgiving is bullshit too.
No, it's turkey. The free turkey's real turkey. I still got some in the fridge.
Think there's all fucking gelatin and shit.
No. Mine was smoked. The gelatin would have fucking melted.
It was good though.
I got some awesome leftovers in my fridge.
If you eat one
Can't
chopped
wait.
cheese
Darby,
in
I'm
New
coming to
York,
pick this up tomorrow.
Hell yeah, dude. Some lumpia, I got some glass noodles in there too.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what glass noodles are, but we gonna find out.
They fucking going crazy with this shit.
Yeah, Jay does this in every episode.
Oh yeah, I know.
Word, like,
Darby.
all right, bro, you can give it up now.
Darby, what you think about it?
I mean, he basically prepped it. He was saying commercialization of holidays, and I honestly think that Thanksgiving was originally just a thing that pretty much every colonist or migrant to America did if they were part of like the Christian faith or any like general like that kind of like cultural thing. And Thanksgiving was probably a thing even before they came to the Americas. And then the only reason Thanksgiving is a real thing now is because it's been completely commercialized into a thing where you could sell shitloads of fucking products the day after, while at the same time maintaining a singular day out of the year for you to go visit your extended family, which is cool and all, but like, you know, it's like there are other days for that. It doesn't have to be just Thanksgiving.
Right. Migs, what you think?
I like food though. That's my only other take.
Love food.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I see it is, like, yeah, the rest of you guys made some good points. But on top of that, it's just a huge murderous massacre cover-up. Like, you guys did some really fucked up shit in the name of looking for land and trying to branch out as human beings would do, blah, blah, blah. But you fucking murdered people. You lied, you deceived, you did some really snake shit, and you literally try to teach us a lie as the truth. Like, that's a fucked up cover up to try to do for anything in history. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Hitler was directly inspired by Americans' Manifest Destiny.
Serious?
Yep.
I mean,
Fucking Hitler.
give or take, so be that as it may, still like hey, throughout history, you literally have been trying to push a lie. You didn't want nobody to learn the truth, and when the truth started getting out there, what else happened? Like people started doing more things to get in front of it. It's fucked up. Position of power that people used in this country when it was rising to its prominence now, people are still using the shadiness of politics and everything in between to make sure they can change or rewrite history as they want to see fit because they're not sitting in the right side of it. And then when you get upset, what do? You cover it up. Fuck it, we don't want to hear about it no more. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. It's all a cover up. Like it's all just fucked up. But
yeah,
thank God, thank God.
Make people submissive and make them not have the ability to be a critical thinker. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, I just thank God that like over time, like how evolution in itself with us, so did the traditions of things that happened that people have followed, that it became something much better, and it actually sat with the word thanks to give, Thanksgiving Day, because at the end of the day, just like everything else we should be thankful for every day of the year, let's take out that one time of the year to be thankful for what we have around us: family, friends, loved ones, being able to eat, have a roof over our head, a village to help support the families, and we grow together. Not what it once was before, and it would have been a shitty tradition if they kept following that. Then we all be fucking genocided or extinct. However you want to put it. It's just I'm glad that the lie of the fuck up of that massive killing of all that, everything that happened, it shouldn't have happened, but I'm just glad the tradition of lying about it at some point started to fade away, and we made it something better.
The lying never faded away. What you think, Jay?
So I don't really celebrate any holidays like at all. So I really don't care too much about holidays. But knowing like what the history of Thanksgiving is and all that other shit, it's just motherfuckers lost. And that's really what it comes down to when this whole human civilization shit. People lose, they lost the wars and the battles and the fights. And like we were talking about Squanto being a sellout to his own people, that always happens too. Like the Native Americans probably weren't thinking.
Well, they sold him out first too. You know what I mean? They sold him into slavery at first.
Yeah, but
that's how he ended up over there learning.
They weren't. He was none of the people who sold people into slavery back then were thinking that was going to come back and bite them in the ass like that.
Yeah, it's called deception. Somebody lied to him, made him believe one thing over the other. He sold out his people thinking he was doing a good thing. Kind of find out he still got fucked.
Right. Even if you want to see doing a good thing, it's still like, hey man, you thought you were making some money or something when you sold people into slavery.
Yeah.
If you want to see a good account of that, go watch The Woman King. I've seen that movie.
Yeah, he was going with that. Though, he was saying that.
The Woman King.
Yeah.
You know that movie's like a complete farce of history.
I wasn't aware it was actually based on true events, but I took it as a movie, and the movie was a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, in the movie, those in real life, those bitches was putting people into slavery.
Yeah, no, they said that they were selling their own people into slavery in the movie.
Damn.
That happened in Africa too.
Pimps in New York.
It was in Africa, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about natives doing it too. My bad.
Pimping
I never seen the movie.
Everybody did some foul shit to their own people, but they didn't think it was gonna come back and bite them in the ass like how it did the Native Americans.
Yeah.
And to have manifest destiny happen and all that other shit.
Bro, there are people in the United States right now that still do it.
What do you mean?
Sell their own people.
Oh well, yeah. That's definitely a thing.
There are people that sell their fucking children.
Yeah. I thought you were talking.
Well, you don't want to sell your kids for a Big Mac?
No.
Yo.
Nah.
Depends how hungry you are.
A Big Mac.
Nothing's really ever changed. It just evolves into something that looks normalized.
Like that filter?
Just recycles itself in a
Yes,
different
like
form.
this filter, because this is the next big holiday coming up. That's a big farce.
When you get old like that, you're gonna have a filter that looks young.
Oh Lord, I wonder what the fucking Christmas episode's gonna be.
I was like, are we gonna do? Please don't do a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
No,
I
I don't
agree
think we're
with
gonna do
Dre.
a
I'm
Christmas
on Dre's
episode this
side.
year.
Yeah.
But who's to tell? You never know. We might do a little something.
Like a history of Christmas. Then that episode's gonna be fucking 4 hours long.
That episode's gonna be jollier than a motherfucking something that we shouldn't fucking do. But you know what you should do? You should be on the lookout for our new date and time coming out in January.
Yes, we're moving to a Friday.
After January 4th, we'll be moving to Friday. We'll be going live Fridays at 10 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. We're trying to make it a little more accessible for you guys to come and join us live. And that way we can have more people on like we did last year. We had a bunch of guests come on and do a shit ton of things. We had Jack Jones come on and show us some sex toys from her shop.
I
Yo,
should try to find some of the craziest people on the internet, and we should try to interview them.
Yeah, well, bring them on. We've had a lot of people. We've had a lady read spiritual energy and spirit animals.
Schizophrenia happy hour.
We had Lori come on with her boyfriend, and we played sex trivia. We've had a bunch of guests come on and do some things, so we're looking to open that back up.
Yeah, we should get like a call line in and shit.
Oh, we've had that. I can send out the link to anybody and they come in. Trust me, bro. We've had call-ins. We've had all of that. We've had people trying to be hypnotized. We had it all. And we're going to bring all of that back. But we need your help. What we need you to do is like, share, and subscribe this mug. Get it out there. Let everybody know where we are. And our new fucking time.
Sell yourself out to us completely, please. We beg of you.
Not completely. Leave some lead room for, consensual.
So
we want to consensually sell yourself out to us, please.
No, consensually.
Some of you hardcore listeners out there may wonder, where does that leave Talking Junk? Well, Talking Junk is gonna move to Tuesdays. Tuesdays at 9:30. Talking Junk will be on the air, and the break room will be on Fridays, which will leave room to our inevitable Patreon launching, which we will be one of the first tiers we'll be doing is we'll be watching movies all together collectively. Maybe some people, maybe everybody. It depends on the days and the times that we do it, but we'll give you a chance to watch that exclusive content where we watch, joke, and rate these movies. But that'll be just something starting. We'll have more tiers and more things coming up. You can pick the movies, you can join in on the movies, or we'll do different things. So take a look out for that Patreon, and there's always more coming on the way. So stay tuned. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. We only got a couple more weeks here on this Saturday late night break room. So be sure to join us next week. I believe next week we're talking about